Hi everyone, welcome to the new video. So today let's go and start our day 7 of Terraform tutorial series. So let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to the day 7 of Terraform tutorial series. Last video was on Terraform provisioners, where we saw that what are Terraform provisioners, what are the types of Terraform provisioners. We have local exec, we have remote exec, and we have file provisioner, when to use provisioner and when not to. We saw both the scenarios, and then today we'll see about Terraform modules. That what are modules, why we use them. Then we'll try to create our first custom module. We can also use public modules from Terraform registry that we'll also see. So our goal is to modularize infrastructure for better reusability. So let's go. So what when we talk about what are Terraform modules, think of it when you have did any coding language or anything, you must have heard about functions, methods, which we create so that we can call it in our main method or main function, and we can reuse those function again and again, the child functions. So modules are like our child functions, or the piece of code which we want, that instead of hard coding values, if we make it as a generic piece of code, it can be reused again and again. Suppose if we have to, there is so suppose we need to buy milk daily. So this is a task which we have to do daily. So instead of going every day in a shop and buying a milk, doing, you put a subscription for in an app that you want to buy a milk daily, and every day in the morning you pay for it, and you'll get a milk every day. So it's not proper analogy, but try to understand, if one task we have to do multiple times. So instead of creating every time the same task and calling it again and again, instead of, we have put a function or that task in one app, or as a piece of code, a generic, and we will call it again and again, so that we don't have to uh, double our work. It will reduce our. So basically benefits of using module is reusability, organize, keeping your Terraform code structured and readable, consistency, and collaboration. That is why we use Terraform module. So when we'll say about the demo, we will see that. So we will see that in Terraform modules, we will have, if we want to create our own module, we will suppose we want to create a virtual machine, and maybe this is not that we are going to create only one machine, and every time we want to create a virtual machine in any region, we have to write the piece of code, the script again and again, and same task has to be done again and again. Instead of that, if we create a module, and after creating the module, just call that module and just give that which region, what type of, what AMI, what instance type you want to create. That's it. You can use the same piece of code for any region multiple times. So that is the use of module. So this is the structure. You will have your main.tf, your output.tf. This is the main code where you are using your code. And inside the modules, you have created your module, and it will also have its main.tf. So what it will do now, today we have basic. There are many ways to create the modules and to call them. Now, when we are creating the module in the same repo, we will see how we are calling it in main.tf. and it is in main.tf, it is using the script defined in the modules. But there are many ways which we will understand in the upcoming days, because we have day 8 also, where we are going to understand the advanced Terraform modules. So here, instead of we are giving the resource AWS instance, and the name is we are giving is this, and everything we have not everything we have put as dynamic, nothing we have put hard coded. AMI will give, instance type we will give, output we will need the instance ID. That is why we are referring AWS instance dot this dot ID, and variables.tf we haven't given any default value. All these values will be given in the main.tf. That's why we have kept it like this. Just the instance name we have given so that we can refer in our module main.tf. After that, in main.tf, where our actual script, suppose this is the one where we will be using for deploying the infrastructure in dev environment. So, and suppose there is another main.tf which is deploying the infrastructure in prod, QA. So instead of that, keeping the code for different environment, we can do everything in same by making the things dynamic. Okay. So here what we will do in main.tf, we will be referring it. We will be referring module with module to give a random name that we want to give so that we can refer it further in our Terraform script. So module, web server, the main thing is the source. So source is the path you have to give where your module script is present. In our case, it is present in the uh, current repo in module slash EC2 instance path. Okay, there is a difference. I think here is, so I have to make the change. So, and the a variables that we haven't hard coded, we need to provide it over here. Okay, because those are the general dynamic things that we have used there. So we have to provide the variables that we want, values of the variables here, that is must. And the output is module dot web server id dot instance id. So in this way we'll be getting the web server id. Now, after this, this is how we'll be creating the custom module. Okay. Now, there are also a third part is that using public modules. So, even Terraform has its public modules. So, if you directly go to this link, which I'll provide in description box, you can check it out. There are many public modules also present. Registry.terraform.io, go to browse.modules, and there are many providers. Whatever provider um, modules you want to check, like AWS, Azure, or Google, just click on it. You need to open whatever resource you want to create. You go to that. Okay, just copy the code which is given. So there is a source, the path of the public module path which is present. So because it is public, it will be able to download the module, and then just copy the same thing, copy the code in main.tf and do Terraform init, Terraform apply. Your code will work. It will start working. So these are the public modules which are present, which you can use in creating your infrastructure. Just have to copy the code and paste it in your main.tf. Rest everything will be done by the module. So even if you want to take the reference of the module, you can go to this https registry.terraform.io and explore more about modules. So this is one way that we can maintain the reusability uh, of the code. So that's all for today's video. So that's all for today's video. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know your views in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye.